I honestly don't even know why I bothered to have long hair anymore because, the cycle just continues of like I don't brush it for 3 days and then it gets so tangled that I have to brush it for 3 days straight. Okay, so, oh my gosh. It's like after 3 a.m., but whatever. I can like perk up. But yeah, so Friday night was a BTS concert in Newark, New Jersey, which is very far from where I live. Yeah, so I know it was kind of like shown in yesterday's video. That was about like the whole trip. Not even about the whole trip. It was the whole trip. The video was, and so yeah, that was shown in that video. So I got into BTS in like November of last year when my sister got me into it. And so like we were messaging a lot about it back then, and we still do today, but like we were messaging a lot about it, and she was talking about just like, oh yeah, I really want to go to this concert. It's in New Jersey, but I don't know if I can get tickets and all this stuff. And then she was like, hey, do you want to come? Because I can buy your ticket and pay for your hotel and basically make everything a reality, if you want to come and everything, and if we can get tickets. And I was just like, my obvious answer was heck yes. And then, the day of, like, I guess I should go a little farther back because I was trying really hard not to get my hopes up because I'm just like, no, I will not be an optimist. I don't even know what the meaning of optimism is anymore because, like, I don't know if it's expecting the best or finding the best in every situation. Because in finding the best in every situation, I am an optimist, but expecting the best, I am not an optimist. You expect the worst, I guess hope for the best, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, in expectations, I'm pretty much a pessimist. But anyway, but yeah, I had like low expectations for that. I was just like, you know what? I'm probably not gonna get tickets. Probably not gonna be able to go, and that's okay. Like, I can stick to watching their videos or whatever. The ticket sold out in 4 minutes, and so my sister was really sad. But I was just like, you know what? I like expected that. It's fine. But then later that day, she texted me and she checked back, and there were more available, and so it was like we were going to see BTS, and it was like, oh my goodness, it was so exciting. Oh yeah, and also there used to be the superhero auditions poster thing from Six Faces on Humorous Cubes back here. I took that down and put it up somewhere else so that I could put up a BTS poster that my sister gave me because she got two of the same one from You Never Walk Alone. But I haven't put it up yet, and it kind of bugs me because I hate the empty space. But my laziness trumps my aesthetic discomfort. It was a 13-hour drive to New Jersey with stops, but we drove up the day before and stayed in a hotel and everything, so that was alright, because like we had that day, the day of the concert to do things just in like Red Bank, New Jersey. And all that was like shown in yesterday's video and everything. But we met these two girls while walking around in Red Bank, and at least one of them was wearing a BTS shirt. I can't remember. I'm not an observant person, but my sister is a bit more observant than I am, and she saw that and was just like, "Hey, are you going to the concert?" And they were like, "Yeah, are you?" And we were like, "Yeah." And so that was cool. One of them had like a flower in her hair that had J-Hope's face in the. You'd only get that if you were into BTS, but anyway, so they were cool, and we talked to them for a minute. But anyway, later that day, we were, in line with a bunch of people, and the doors were opening at 7, and we said that we got there like a little bit before 7, so we were in line and everything. And like before the doors opened, so before the line was moving, there was a group of girls at one point in the line that were doing the choreography for Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and it was really awesome. They did it really well, and I was just like, oh my gosh, people are talented. And then a little bit later, once the line was moving a little bit more, people were doing the choreography. I think it was for Dope. I put that in yesterday's video because that was the one I actually recorded. So, you know, in line we were talking to like these 3 girls right behind us, and that was fun. And then people were handing out like these banners or whatever you call them. They were like these pieces of paper. And they weren't. I don't know. It's 3 a.m. I don't know what I'm saying. Whatever. But yeah, it was like one side you would hold it up when they sang 21st Century Girl, and they said something. I can't remember. My memory's awful. It said something on it, and it was blue for 21st Century Girl. And then the other side was pink, and it said something else for Spring Day. I read it. I knew what it said. I forgot. Cool, so I was recording, and my phone was just like, hey, you know what? I just need some space. So I had to clear some space to record more. But anyway, so yeah, where was I? Right, the banners. Yeah, so that was a thing. I don't remember what they said. But anyway, yeah, and then there was the concert, and we got up, well, we were getting up to our seats, and we heard a bunch of people screaming. Turns out they were playing music videos, and people were screaming and singing along to those music videos and everything, and I was just thinking, like, you know, like, I get it, but there's that voice inside my head that was just like, it's not like they haven't seen the music videos millions of times already. Like, once. But anyway, so for like the first half of the show though, I was the grumpiest grump because, you know, I was like mentally preparing myself, like, you know, what if the concert sucks? Not that I thought it was gonna suck, but like I said, I'm pretty pessimistic in my expectations. But, you know, I was just like mentally preparing myself for all this stuff, but for some reason the one thing I forgot to factor in was the fact that like 99% of their fan base is made up of screaming teenage girls. And so, you know, being surrounded by screaming teenage girls in a room holding over like 10,000 people, I was just like, I'm gonna go deaf. But you know, and it was like, you know, they were trying to talk and they were like screaming while they were talking. Like, I can understand after a song, but like while they were talking, I was just like, I can't understand what they're saying. Oh my goodness, we're screaming. But yeah, so it was about that concert whenever I realized that I am mentally a 65-year-old man. But I think it was about the time whenever Jen was singing Awake that I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I came all this way, and I'm not gonna be bitter the entire thing, and I'm gonna freaking enjoy it. Mind over matter. And so I just tried to like focus on them instead of them, and then it was like, yeah. And so it was like really, really great, and I enjoyed it a lot more after that. Another thing is like, one thing I really regretted for the Pentatonics concert was that I like recorded a lot, you know, with my crappy phone from my crappy seat. And it was like I couldn't fully enjoy the concert as it was happening, and then it's like I didn't even go back and watch the videos that I took very much. I, like, you know, looking back on it, I look back on it with my memory. And so, you know, going into this, I recorded a bunch at the beginning, but I was just like, no, I'm not, like, enjoying this like I could be. And remembering back to the Pentatonics concert, I was just like... But yeah, so then I just stopped recording, and I'm just like, you know what, like, other people are going to be recording, and my phone takes horrible recordings of this type of thing anyway, so there's really no point in recording. So yeah. Alright, another really awesome thing was, like, they had a lot of different, like, stage changes or, like, just different changes that they had to do, but there were like practically no moments of silence because like in between things like that they would like play a video, and then like the transitions between just like song to song were like super smooth. You probably hear my fan blowing very loudly in this video. It is super hot. It's a spring day, or a spring night actually. It's literally not even April yet, and it's been like 80 degrees in South Carolina already. It's been super humid and everything, and it snowed. It snowed just like 2 weeks ago. And man, I love New Jersey weather. Man, it was friggin' like 50 degrees the entire time, and it was amazing. Why can't it be like that in South Carolina? This is why I want to move up north. Okay, so since it was the wing tour, or the wing tour, since it was the Wings tour, they played like all the songs on Wings. They started out the concert with Not Today, which is their newest song. And they did Pepsi, and it was freaking awesome. That was one that I was looking forward to the most, just because like I love it so much. It's so good. And they also did Dope. They did the song Dope. No other kind of dope was done at this concert, to my knowledge. Cypher Part 4. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Oh my goodness. I loved it so much. And also they did a mashup of a lot of they did a mashup of a lot of their old It's almost 3:30 in the morning. You can't expect me to English. They did a mashup of a bunch of songs of theirs, like Fire, I think. Like I said, my memory is freaking awful. Fire, Boy in Love, and I don't know what the other like 3 were, because my memory is awful. No. I think No was another one that was in the mashup. Yeah. I don't know what the others were. I think it was 5 songs. Don't ask someone else. Then they did their quote-unquote last song. Because you know, the first last song is never really the last song. But, so that was Boy Meets Evil, and then it went into Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and oh my goodness, J-Hope was freaking awesome, and he did so well. Oh my goodness. Of course I am a little bit biased, but anyway, he did really well, and it was really good. And also, then my mind is over there, and over there, and up there, and everywhere else but here. Right. Then they had the encore, which was when a bunch of people handed out like the things to put over a bunch of people's army bombs, which is the BTS light stick, so that it would create like this what they called a rainbow ocean, and it would be just colors everywhere in the audience, and it was super cool. But yeah, and then they came out for the encore and everything, and they did the outro Wings, and oh my goodness. Okay, so Wings, that's one of the songs that has like it's one of the songs that has like the most lyrics in English, and it's like really repetitive too, and it not a bad kind of repetitive, but like, you know, it kind of repeats itself a lot, and it's really fun and upbeat and everything. And you know, since like most of the lyrics for the repetitive parts were in English, it was like everyone was singing along, and we were all like having a good time, and it was good, and it was fun, and it's 3:30 in the morning. But yeah, and after they did that, they, you know, started talking one more time, and it was, that time it was like one where not as many people were screaming while they were talking, so I could actually understand what they were saying for the most part. And and you know, that time it did seem like they were, you know, going a little bit deeper with what they were saying and not just kind of like working the crowd or anything. So that was really cool, and I knew because I had seen like the general set list that they were doing beforehand, I knew that it was going into 2-3, and 2-3 is my favorite BTS song, and that's because of the lyrics. I really, really love the lyrics to 2-3. Um, and with 2-3, they didn't have any like choreography or anything. They just kind of like stood in a line and sung to their fans. Sang. It's a sad existence when they're better at English than I am. Anyway, my mind has been scattered, and it needs to be swept up into a dustpan so it can go back into the trash hole that is my brain. 2-3. 2-3 was what I was talking about. They were standing in a line and singing to their fans like more directly and more intimately, and I thought that was really good. And you know, I was really surprised because I don't normally cry at things, and I didn't cry, but I got emotional, and that surprised me because I don't know. I'm normally in like a very neutral state of emotion or non-emotion. Like I don't know. I'm just not a very emotional person generally. At least not recently. I used to be. Oh my goodness, but not recently. So it kind of like surprised me a lot whenever I got emotional because I was just like, wow, this is like emotion and stuff. But yeah, so 2-3 was like a really sweet moment, and then it went into Spring Day, and Spring Day is so pretty. Oh my goodness, if you haven't heard Spring Day, please listen to it. It's so beautiful. And you know, a bunch of people were singing like the vocals near the end of the song that's not lyrics, but the, you know, the oh whoa, that part. I'm sure that was very descriptive, and I'm sure you know exactly what I was talking about. But yeah, they a lot of the audience was singing that, and it kind of like continued for a really long time while they kind of like, you know, walked over to the different sections of the stage to like, you know, kind of like stuff the different sections of the crowd, and it's 3:31 a.m. But anyway, so yeah, Spring Day was really, really pretty, and they ended it off with that, and you know, kind of like said their goodbyes and everything, and it was really sweet and all that stuff. And then afterward, you know, we walk out, and then there's like a crap ton of people on the sidewalk, sidewalk, and like security people like making sure that they stay on the sidewalk so that the vans could like pass through, and they were, you know, waiting for their vans to pass through so they could like wave and say bye and stuff. And then the next day we went to NYC, but that was in the yesterday's video, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. But yeah, the drive home was more like 15 hours because we stopped like longer and more frequently. So we got home at like 4:30 a.m. on Monday morning, so that was good. That was fantastic because like the original plan was getting home at like probably like 10 or 11 Sunday night. That didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. But you know, whatever. What's done is done. It happened. There's no changing the past. But yeah, the trip was awesome. The concert was awesome. It was really good. I'm really glad that I went, and insert outro here.